Esperanza243. You are here to watch and or listen to me read a book out loud. It is a personal book, actually, called Aquatica. This is part 2. If you're wondering why I'm grinning, it's because I've been having such a fabulous evening. First of all, there's this, I'm now addicted to another group of YouTube gamers. And this group is called Game Grumps. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with them. Because after all, they are pretty popular for a whole bunch of stuff. But one of the main reasons I liked them in the first place was because of this multiplayer thing called table flips. They would invite other gamers to play just a random game that's on the table. And I didn't really pay attention to the Game Grumps group until recently. I didn't like them because the way they were playing Sonic 06, I think it was, the game was called. But then a special friend of mine from Alabama just wanted me to check out this one playlist they did, one of the Kirby games, and I just freaking fell in love, and I've been watching them all week. And then for a while I decided to talk to Siri, the voice app on my new iPod Touch that I have, and oh my gosh, I love coming up with random questions to make her answer and not, the internet search. It's just so freaking hilarious. So I commented about that on Facebook, and all of my friends are like trying to tell me to ask Siri these random questions. I've just been having a ball all night. But let's get to Aquatica, shall we? So I believe in part 1, I introduced Garnette and her family. So in Garnette's perspective, they are her family. She views them as mom, father, brother, and sister. When in actuality, as I pointed out in the beginning, is that Marion is her cousin and Kaylee is her aunt. Those are the only two that are that were pointed out. There's one more odd thing about the family, but she doesn't find out, I think, until maybe part 3, part 5, or part 3 or part 4, I'm not quite sure, but we'll find out. So where were we? Oh yeah, she's showing her dad the invitation. Well, it's just the usual crowd, she said. Her dad nodded, still looking at the invitation. Yep, it's just going to be you, me, Marion, Patrick, and Mom if she wants to go. She almost forgot about her mother in all of this. Then she realized her dad wasn't paying attention. Of course, the whole school could be invited as well. Maybe the mayor will come and give us a big key to the city. He nodded. It was quiet for some time. Dad? He looked up. I'm sorry, who's invited? I said it's the usual crowd. You, me, Marion, Patrick, and Mom. If she wants to come, that is. She held her breath in anticipation. That's a good idea. He paused. Wait, where is this being held? Well, since the partygoers are the family, I was thinking it could be in the backyard. She looked at him with a hopeful look. He studied her. All right, that's fine. Just don't make the party too big. They giggled. Without warning, Patrick burst into the room. "Dad, look at this invitation I found in my room," he cried, showing it off. "Can I go, please?" He was very excited about it. "May you? And yes, you may go." He lifted his invitation. "It appears I'm invited too. The whole family is invited, in fact. Kaylee, look at this invitation." She got up from her vanity table and walked to the bed. She looked through the invitation and smiled. "This is going to be an interesting party. I do see few problems. Where is it? When is it? We'll have to make sure we're all available to go." Garnette spaced, wanting to slap her forehead. "I should have figured that out before giving them the invitation," she thought to herself. "I know the person who's hosting the party. I'll go call them and ask," she fibbed to her parents, which you should never do, by the way. They nodded. Garnette hurried out of the room toward her cousins. She opened the door and closed it as she entered. "What's wrong? Did Dad not like the idea?" "Dad loved the idea of the party, but I don't think he has a clue that it's about getting to know Patrick. We should have thought this through, though, before the invitations were given, I mean." Her cousin was confused. "We didn't set a date." She widened her eyes. "Oh, and we didn't figure out a place." "That's covered. I asked Dad if the party could be in the backyard. He said yes." Her cousin jumped with energy. "That's great! And for the date, I got an idea. Maybe we could set it on the next game day," she suggested. Garnette nodded. "That's what I was thinking too. But which sport should it be? Basketball, football, or baseball? I know Dad isn't into hockey or skateboarding like Patrick is." "You're right. Which sport?" she whispered. Marion rolled around in her chair and gazed at the computer. She gasped. "I know. Let's look on the internet. Maybe we can look up the closest date." "Good idea, Marion." She watched her sister work on the computer like a speed machine. She rolled her... Garnette rolled her eyes. "It'll have to be baseball. It's the only game of the 3 that is going on this season." She continued typing and clicking. "Ah, got a calendar of the upcoming games. Look at this. There's a game coming up. It's this weekend. Oh, but it's not even close to town. We can't go." Marion frowned. "What are we going to do, Nettie?" "Did the invitation say we were going to see a game in person? Let's watch it on TV. Surely one of our local stations will be recording it live." Marion gasped. "Maybe we can call all the stations and ask who's going to be there. You do half and..." "Garnette, we could just look at a TV guide and see what channels it might be on." "Or we could do that." Garnette thought about it. "You know, that is a better idea. Let's do that." "Cool. I'll search for a local TV guide on the internet." "Okay. In the meantime, I need to tell Mom and Dad when the party will be. I'm sure they're anxious to find out. Also, I need to talk to Mom about something." "All right, that's fine. I'll just leave a list of the channels in your room. We can discuss which channel to choose later. Oh, and when you talk to Mom, don't cry." "Who said I was going to cry?" she asked, leaving the room. In the next 5 years, their parents divorced. They had arguments, some of which were about Garnette or Patrick. Her aunt started to stare off in space for no apparent reason. Patrick graduated high school before he moved away with his father. Marion graduated from community college and got a job. With her new job, she paid rent so she could continue living with her mother and cousin. After 6 years of several events, including traveling, Garnette, her cousin, and her aunt were going on a trip. Marion had applied to a cooking school on the East Coast and got accepted. "Mom, I can't find my Adopt-A-Mouse," Garnette cried, running around the house. Aunt Kaylee didn't respond. She got worried after looking in the garage. It seemed her aunt was gone, but her car was still at home. She noticed the emptiness in the garage and realized a big van seemed to be missing. She sighed heavily, ran off to her cousin's room, and knocked on the door. "What do you want, Nettie?" Marion said rather annoyingly. "Do you know what happened to my stuffed mouse? It has a white shirt that says Adopt-A-Mouse for Down syndrome." Her sister rolled her eyes. "Why do you want to bring that thing? The mouse is so old. Plus, we're going to be busy while we're in Virginia." "Oh, come on. I want to bring it with me to show people. There might be someone in Virginia who would make a donation. The mouse still has the tag, so I can give them the information." She opened the door slightly and saw her cousin was close to finish unpacking her last suitcase. Marion sighed. "The last I saw it was a couple years ago. You're on your own, Nettie. Sorry." Garnette was disappointed. The last time she ever saw it had to be on the nightstand in her room. She couldn't understand where the mouse could have gone. Then she remembered. Patrick had visited 3 months earlier. He must have hidden it. He always hid something of hers. Knowing him, she groaned and went searching for her stuffed mouse in places she would hardly look. The last place she went searching for was the food pantry. During her search, she found her Adopt-A-Mouse within minutes. The poor stuffed animal had been squashed under 2 boxes of potato flakes and 1 pound of canned tuna. "My poor Henri!" she cried, fixing its squashed body. She went to her room, holding the mouse against her chest. "I'm so excited about this trip, Henri," she said, carefully packing him in a carry-on bag. "It'll be my 5th trip to the ocean. Last time I went was 2.5 years ago. Can you believe it?" She zipped up her carry-on bag after adding a few more items. "There, I'm all done, I think." Her thoughts were interrupted. "Nettie, have you seen my eyeliners anywhere?" Garnette rolled her eyes and hurried off to the bathroom. Garnette rolled her eyes and headed to their bathroom. The eyeliners were in a small container. She grabbed all of them and headed off to her cousin's room. Marion gasped. "Where did you find the eyeliners? I couldn't find them anywhere." "In the bathroom, where they should be." "Why are you bringing your makeup anyway? There's no reason to be dolled up for a complete stranger." "Still, it doesn't hurt to give a good impression of oneself." "Did you pack all your bathroom needs?" She nodded. "Yep, I even packed a few more. I hope to catch it without dirtying too much of my clothes." It's been unpredictable lately. Are you all packed? Mostly. Garnette looked around. She gasped when she saw the computer. You're not taking your old computer? No, I'm giving that to you. Now that I'm gone, you'll be taking full responsibility. I'm taking my laptop. Is that everything? She looked around. Yep, that's everything. I can't believe you'll be the one living in Virginia. You can drive to the ocean whenever you want. I am so jealous. Marion laughed. Nettie, I'll be living at least 3 hours away from the ocean. If I ever want to, I have to make sure I have enough time. She paused. Wait a minute. Garnette O'Connell, did you pack those shells again? She gave her cousin a guilty look. I only packed the semi-big ones. I'm afraid the rest will break. I barely have enough space in my suitcase. Of course, she said, rolling her eyes. Marion looked at her watch. Oh gosh, we have to be there in an hour and 30 minutes. I don't want the plane leaving without us. Wait, what about the rest of your stuff? Are they still in that big van? Garnette asked, remembering the garage. Her cousin gasped. Uh-oh. The van! I completely forgot! Marion quickly thought, I'll have to drive the van to Virginia. Oh gosh, I was supposed to do that yesterday. Mom! She ran out of her room to their mother's room. Mom, I forgot about the van. Their mom wasn't there. Where is she? Marion went from the kitchen to the pantry to the garden to the garage. She couldn't find her mom, and for some reason the van too. She took out her cell phone as she went back to her room and little cousin. She called her mom's cell phone. Hello? Her mother answered. Mom, where are you? I completely forgot about the van. It's not even in the garage. What's going on? Oh dear, you're still at home? You need to be at the airport. Marion was about to talk, but her mom continued. Use my plane ticket, sweetheart. I won't be able to come with you. What? What's going on? Where are you? And there, I'm going to stop. I had hoped to read a lot more than that, but I don't think my throat can take it, and that's better than any other place I would have stopped anyway, so. I do hope I have enough minutes on here to make it 20 minutes. Because otherwise, oopsies. Next video will be 25 minutes. And hopefully I'll do more reading than talking. I am working on that, if you haven't noticed. Oh, and remember, please like, comment, subscribe, and if not, check out my radio show. So we'll find out what happens next in part 3. Bye!